What's up, Sag? How you doing? Just get the energy up a little bit. You want to dance with somebody, Sag? You know, real talk though. We'll keep it, yeah. Six of Pentacles. I wasn't even getting to the reading yet, but I think we're gonna stick with this, yeah? First of all, guys, I'm Chris. Welcome to your October Taroscope. That song came on my shuffle earlier today, and I'm like, that's a big Sagittarius mood right now. Why? I feel Sag is in this in-between place, right? I think we spoke about this a little last month, right? Making big changes, finding new identities, figuring out what you wanted, right? But this is Libra season. There's a give and take. There's a back and forth, right? Something about the song is so joyous, but also in a way has this kind of melancholy tone to it, right? It's romantic, but also a song about kind of about being lonely, right? And I think this is the place that you guys are stuck in this month. I think that, or have been rather, I think that there's a fire in Sagittarius that sort of needs to be rekindled right now. Sagittarius doesn't seem to like know where to put their energy with the Six of Pentacles. And this isn't about like distraction, like I'm putting my energy into, something that isn't going to become something serious, and I'm not putting it into my career or my education or stuff like that, right? This is more like you have all this energy and you just don't know where to put it. And sometimes this like energy gets built up, and then what happens is that like it just kind of gets overwhelming and it like sputters out. And Sagittarius, I just think there's right now a need for passion, a need for play, a need for you to feel reciprocation of energies in your life. You know, your temperance, right? Temperance is about balance. Temperance is about healing. Temperance is about the pause right before what's about to happen next, right? The planning, the recovering, the recuperating. And my big sense I'm just saying us, right? This is how I'm doing the readings this month. I'm doing it with polarities, right? So I'm doing the opposite signs together, not in the same video, but in the same time, like same night. I want to have the energy present, right? So Gemini and Sagittarius are polarities. And I think we're both on this page, Gemini and Sag, of that temperance place. That place where you've been through a lot, and now there's a new start. And I think with Sagittarius, you need to keep in mind that, in a way, there's kind of no such thing as a new start, right? Even if you're starting over in material ways and mundane ways, you yourself can't start over. You're carrying experiences, you're carrying growth, strength, wisdom, right? And I think for the months ahead, Sagittarius is going to have to realize and really tap into the power that you guys have accumulated over the past few months. Was it maybe power that you gained because of difficult situations? Maybe, right? But there were lessons learned. There's almost within you guys a new sort of sense of stability. Sagittarius this month, I think, needs hope. And not hope as in like, I hope this turns out this way, I hope I get this, I hope I get that. Hope is in this sort of just optimism and faith in and confidence in yourself, right? You're the archer who shoots the flaming arrow into the night sky for everybody to see. For everybody to see how high it can go, right? For everybody to see, to maybe have their world lit up for a moment. Illuminated, right? That's you guys. The brightness of the mind and the brightness of the spirit is Sagittarius. And right now you guys need to kind of light your own fire. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a spread that is going to take us through the month, right? We're going to start off with where you come, what energies you're coming into the month with. Roughly 4 cards, including clarifiers, to take us through the month. Like roughly 1 card for each week, give or take. And then a card to end up where we're ending up the month, right? So let's just go ahead and jump into this and keep going here, Sag, because I think that you guys are kind of primed and ready to go. I think that you guys are recovering. I think you're healing. And that's where I ask you not to lose hope, right? That's where I ask you to not get so caught up in the way things might feel stationary right now. The way it maybe almost feels like brighter times were behind you. Or maybe you even gave up something that was brighter, right? There could almost be a sense here, Sagittarius, of I don't want to say sadness or regret, but maybe a little bit of that coming into October. With the sun here like this, it's almost as if it's saying like there's a feeling within you guys of, I'm getting intense deja vu right now, feeling within you guys of happy times behind you. There's a sadness I'm feeling when I'm looking at this card. And this is not a card of sadness. This is a card of joy. This is a card of celebration, right? And then look, okay, so do you see what I'm saying here? So you're coming into the month with this sun energy, and then you start off the month with this 10 of Wands energy. Do you see the difference here? Do you see how it's very almost clear that there's a sense of this weight that you're now dealing with, this burden, this heaviness compared to this, right? Compared to this joy, this lightness, this ability to be playful and innocent and happy. And now it's almost like you burdened yourself, Sagittarius. And now your joy and happiness is kind of getting buried underneath the burdens that you took on yourself, but for the sake of kind of teaching yourself how to grow and trying to make yourself better, right? Trying to make yourself stronger. The person who picks up the bundle of wands and the 10 of wands kind of has really good intentions, right? They want to provide. They want to make it all the way over there to that little, house in the distance there, right? They want to do good things. This is like a ton of ambition. But this is also the kind of ambition that might crush your spirit a little bit. So there's a feeling here, Sagittarius, of almost like having done the right thing, right? Taking on responsibility, taking on like a sort of seriousness to your life. But with that comes this emotional burden. And then there's death. This is the pain I want to tell you guys of transformation. These are growing pains. This is like the hurt of recognizing that there are things in your life that don't fit you anymore, and having to make peace with the actions you've had to take to separate yourself from that, to maybe even some sadness over having to feel like maybe you've given up or been sidetracked from some of these goals. But with death comes a promise, right? It feels to me like what's going to come next is going to show the growth, right? It's going to show the movement into the better place of happiness. Death doesn't like all those wands. He's like, nah, bro, you not that swole. You can't carry all that, son. Get out of here. Who you playing? Do you see the way it's almost like he's just like ready to just swing that scythe so like adamantly and so happily at that sticks, at those wands, like fuck that. Death is like, nah, we're not doing that to ourselves. We're not taking on so much that we forget like our own happiness and our own passion and the things that makes us who we are and the things that kind of inspired us to go in this direction in the first place, right? Your dreams, your intuitions, right? Your desire for something greater in life. And right now we're going through a Venus retrograde, right? Cheers to that, Sag. We're going through a Venus retrograde through the signs of Scorpio and then back into Libra. And what happens when Venus goes retrograde in Scorpio and Libra? We are plunging to the depths of what gives us meaning. We are looking very, very closely at our relationships, seeing what nourishes us and what doesn't. There's almost a connection here between these three cards, right? Six of Pentacles is about exchanges of energy. So this could be with relationships in terms of how much you give versus how much is given to you. Ten of Wands, it could be a job, right? How much effort you're putting in versus how much like you're getting out of it. Same thing with Ten of Wands. Are the burdens you're putting on yourself or the responsibilities you're taking on helping or hurting? And right now, death, this motherfucker is coming in and getting rid of all the stuff that does not work. So does this time maybe feel a little painful to you, Sag? Maybe. Maybe at the least it could feel a little confusing. A little, you know, what do I do with all this stuff in my life? How do I really clean house in a way that's going to get me to the growth that I desire, to get me back to my happy-go-lucky self, right? This child-like energy. I was just looking at the child and thinking childlike energy. We have the Fool in reverse. This is like doubting yourselves. This is doubting your intuition. This is saying that you're not really ready to grasp your new future. You're holding on tight to a lot of the things that you already know at this point aren't working anymore or aren't fulfilling. And again, that's what Venus retrograde does. Venus is the planet of love and beauty and comfort. In the sign of Scorpio, of meaning, of depth. you're going to be a little lost, I think, Sagittarius. And that comes from not like you have to necessarily literally cut things out, but being hesitant to really follow. Let's not focus on like the getting rid of things. Let's focus on the bringing things into your life. And that might require some hard choices. That might require separations. That might require distance. That might require changes that are not going to be comfortable. But look at how uncomfortable this is. In a different deck, this guy, it's like a guy carrying a whole bundle. Like, it's so heavy. Like, imagine trying to pick all that up yourself. So, there's going to be some resistance going through the month here, I think. A lack of willingness to let go. A lack of willingness to trust yourself. You know, I think a lot about this. You know, Sagittarius, I think, is one of the more sensitive fire signs. You know, Aries thinks they have no emotions. Leo thinks they're, like, above emotions. Sagittarius is, I think, one of the more emotionally intelligent fire signs. You guys can get in your feelings, right? And that's not bad. That's a beautiful attribute. But at a point, it's going to interfere with your other really great attributes like logic, like adventure, right? The Fool upright is like a card of adventure. It's a card of following your heart. It's a card of journeying out into the world with nothing more than like your intuition and your creativity to just like enjoy the best life has to offer. Here, you're not taking those steps. You're holding back, I think, in October, Sagittarius. And I want to clarify that because I want to see specifically where this is where you're holding back in terms of being honest about what is or isn't deserving of your time and energy, frankly. Have you felt drained by a relationship recently, Sagittarius? Have you felt drained by the way people have been treating you? Walked over a little bit, disregarded by family? Wild, adventurous, free Sagittarius. The Fool carries that little bundle for a reason. He has to be light, right? He has to be able to change direction. He has to be able to, you know, pursue different goals at the flip of a turn of a hat. I don't know what the expression is. I fucked that up. But you guys are holding on to a lot. And then at the end of the month, good fortune. This turns the Fool upright. So I think that in a way, guys, no matter what, there's gonna maybe be something that feels like divine intervention. That doesn't mean that you're passive in the situation, right? But with the Wheel, it's almost like it's out of our hands. It's fate. Things happen. And I think, let's clarify that right now. I think things are going to happen this month, towards the end of the month particularly, that kind of push you and force you to make the changes that are making this not a joyous card, not a stable card, but a card that puts you in this place. Let's look at that Wheel of Fortune. What exactly are we looking at here? What kind of turns of fate can Sagittarius expect? Four of Swords. Done fighting battles. It could be, Sagittarius, that someone in your life just doesn't want the drama. Which is ironic. It's like, it'd be so annoying, right, Sag? If like you're dealing with a toxic person and then they make you crazy and make you heavy and make you like lose your shit a little bit, and then all of a sudden come to you and say like, ooh, you're like toxic, I need to get away from you. Wouldn't you want to punch somebody in the face after all this they put you through? After how much you tried? As much as you try to face the hard realities of it? Then someone else says, nah, I'm good? Shit. So, it might behoove you guys to start taking some proactive action, right? To work on tapping into your own passion on your own. Not waiting for some outside situation to say, some outside situation or circumstance or person to be the one to put you at ease and peace. By what? By leaving you? Cutting off communication? Saying, I don't want this with you anymore? You're gonna let someone play you like that, Sag? No. You best not. Let's see how the month is. Okay. And then we end out the month with the Hermit. So, again, yes, possibility that somebody or some situation that was important to you, but was maybe heavy, now leaves you going into November feeling a little isolated. But this is you guys picking yourselves up, right? When I look at the Hermit here, I don't see someone who's down and out. I see someone who maybe had these hard lessons with the Fool. Now has maybe a little less to carry, right? But now with the ability to start over. Perfect way of the way I began this reading, right? He's wearing nothing. He's going into wilderness with nothing. But look, there's a reason he's this old man, right? What I said from the start. Venturing out again, but with experience, with skill, with knowledge, with wisdom, with smarts. Some shit that says, I'm never going to let that happen again. I'm never going to ignore those red flags again. Oh, beautiful. I was going to pull clarifiers, but bottom of the deck. Temperance. This is what I wanted to pull in the beginning to start the reading, but I was like, let me just see what comes up. And I'm so happy it came up, guys. Bottom of the deck, Temperance. The Sagittarius card. All the things I said from the beginning. Healing, magic, optimism, adventure, passion, getting the mojo flowing again. There's a reason that Temperance comes after death. That Sagittarius comes after Scorpio. Because after you do this hard work, after you do this difficult emotional transformation, you need to rest. You need to heal. You need to regroup. You need to figure out what your next moves are. And I think underlying this all, this is really at the core of what Sagittarius is doing in the month of October. I just want to pull a clarifier for that Hermit, and then we're going to pull a rune card to wrap up the reading. Oh, quick message, guys. I do have a video for autumn forecasts. That was really fun to do. That's on my page. It has timestamps, so you can just jump to your sign and check out what's in store for you this autumn. I also have private readings available. I didn't tell anybody else this yet, but if you favorite any item in my shop, you'll get an email for 15% off. So check that out. Description of the cards, obviously in the comments below. And I do have a PayPal link. This is a lot of work to do. So if you guys want to help support the channel and donate to the PayPal, any little bit is helpful and much appreciated. Right? So let's just take a look real quick at this Hermit energy. I think though what's happening here is that it is sort of a being sick and tired of these people, these situations, this instability in a way. Not instability, but constantly having to balance things out and weigh things out and being like in your head so much about what you're giving versus what you're getting, right? Being so much in your head about who's feeding you and who's hurting you. But let's like clarify that Hermit real quick. But again, guys, I do want you to not be disheartened, because I do feel like whatever happens, you come out at the end of the month stronger, smarter, wiser, like more capable. Yeah. 7 of Cups. So this is maybe something that you don't see coming. This might be something that hurts. Sagittarius, if you do find yourself feeling a little low or hurt this month, especially towards the end, please try to not like go too deep into escapism, right? Scorpio season will kind of do that, especially Halloween and all that. You know, you're going to want to party and have fun. That's great. Do it if that's what you do. But this is sort of like a warning. Also a warning to stop being delusional, right? 7 of Cups is about not like being logical, not being lucid. It's almost like you have to learn these lessons now because you weren't willing to see the truth sooner. But ultimately, Sagittarius, there's like peace of mind. Coming out of this with peace of mind. And I think that's the transition here, right? From this burden to, yeah, this difficult stuff in the middle that makes you feel kind of sideways and upside down. But by the end of it, walking out of this with knowledge of who you are and what you want. All right, let's pull a rune card to see where how we're gonna wrap up this reading. Beautiful. This is the rune Asa. It represents the god Odin. It's a rune of magic. It's a rune of communication. It's a rune of self-mastery and self-leadership. And I think what this is saying, guys, is Sagittarius, this is your month to like really take your life by the reins and to really get into the creative part of like life, right? The way it's not just art creativity, it's about the stories you want to tell yourself, what meaning you put on things, right? Part of this spiritual work we do is to become aware of the stories we tell ourselves and to give ourselves tools to consciously change those stories. And it's not lying to ourselves. It's just understanding that there are going to be stories that you tell yourself either way. So why not make it a story that's empowering? Why not make it a story that like moves you forward, right? Instead of a story that tells you that, you know, you don't know what you're doing and you're just, life is full of pain. How about life is full of ups and downs? The Wheel of Fortune, right? How about that you're powerful enough to do whatever you want? But the emphasis on this is like putting it into reality, right? Speaking it, articulating it, knowing what you want, being in touch with your intellect, being in touch with your intuition, being in touch with just like the greater forces of life, the things that drive you, the things that excite you, the things that make you want to do more and be more. Self-mastery, Sagittarius. Self-leadership. Stop waiting for fate. Stop waiting for outside influences to make up their mind about your life. And start saying more, this is what I want. This is what I deserve to have. This is what I'm worthy and capable of pursuing for myself. Instead of being jerked around. Instead of letting people take too much from you. Instead of not trusting your intuition. The Hermit is very analytical. The Seven of Cups just like covers that. It's illusion, right? It's not even trusting your own brain. Happy days will be here again. This is all cyclical stuff. Going into Scorpio season, the meaning is going to become clearer to you. The meaning of your struggles, the meaning of like your life and what you really want for yourself and what you're going to accomplish and what you're putting your energy towards. But speak it. Put it out into the world. You have to put it out into the real world in some way to make it happen. Tell the right people your plans. Tell the right people your goals. But like, say it with strength, with power, with like assuredness of what you want, right? Sagittarius, I knew we needed to have a little bit of a lighter spirit to start this off, right? I want you guys to, this month it's going to really take, I think, you really doing what you can to make yourself happy. Realizing that like happiness has to be a little bit in your control. It has to be. You can't keep letting other people decide when you will and won't be happy. You can't keep giving that power to other people. You have to choose it. You have to say, I don't want that other way of being. That's not good enough. I'm not sitting around waiting for this person or that person or this job to say what I'm, you know, like, it's, take that arrow, Sag. You know what I mean? Light up the sky. Let the whole world know you're here. I mean, it's not like people can ignore you very easily, right, Sagittarius? All right, guys. I love you so much. I'm glad I jumped in and did this now. I think it was a good and necessary talk. I hope it wasn't too serious. I think it's promising. But, you know, there's work involved. So just, like, do the work. The emotional work, I think, is really part of that is drawing boundaries for yourself, as we saw, right? With the Ten of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, not taking on too much, not letting other people take too much, right? All right, guys. Again, private readings, autumn readings, PayPal, Instagram, all that cool stuff. I'm really excited to be talking to you guys tonight, and I hope that all the messages that came through are what you needed to hear right now. And I wish you the best. I think you're going to have a brilliant, difficult but brilliant October that leads to a really, really spectacular fall. Okay? Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.